What's up guys, Skittlerampage here. So today we're going to be talking about why hasn't Funko made these Funko Pops yet? They could make so much money. Let's talk about it. Of course, before we get the video started, I need you to do a few things for me, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell down below, guys. You don't want to miss cool things coming out each week. Lots of cool videos coming soon, so make sure you guys stick around. Also, guys, make sure to follow me on Instagram. A lot of cool things going on over there, a lot of updates. Make sure to join my Facebook group. It is a buy, sell, and trade group, guys. Buy, sell, and trade your Funko Pops. Who doesn't want to do that? And it's free to join, so join. Join the Discord. Lots of cool things going on over there. I promise you guys, great community, lots of different channels, and there's pretty much a channel over there for everyone. And join the Patreon, guys, today. A lot of cool things going on over there as well. I got a lot of cool things going on, so make sure you guys check out all those links down below. Patreon, you can get early access to new pops I get, hauls I get, early access to videos. You guys get free stuff sent to you every single month. Go check out all those links down below, guys. But anyways, topic of the video. Why hasn't Funko made these Funko Pops yet? Guess what the topic is, guys? Anime. You guys love anime. Come on, you love anime. So I compiled a list here. A list of animes that I feel that Funko should make and that I really feel like they're missing out on a lot of money because they have not made them yet. I also have a couple honorable mentions, and then I want you guys to list down below an anime that you would love to see Funko Pops made of from Funko. So make sure to list that down below and leave a like for anime. Duh. Okay, so first up, guys, there's no real order to this list. I'm just going to be talking about a couple animes that I feel that should be made into Funko Pops. So this is not a top 10, not a top 5, not a top 100, not a top 150. It's just, there's no ranking system because I don't want to make anybody mad by ranking them 1 through 10 and being like, oh, that should have been here and that should have been here. All right, so we're just going to do no ranking system. So the first one we're going to talk about is probably the most popular on this list and the most wanted, I would say, is, well, one of the most wanted. There's plenty of wanted ones on this list, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So this is one I have not seen myself, but my brother kind of explained it a little bit. He hasn't seen it either, but he had a friend explain it to him who has seen it. So I kind of got like information down the grapevine a little bit. I tried looking it up a little bit before the video, but anyways, isn't it essentially like how my brother explained to me? It's essentially, it is an anime. All kinds of crazy stuff happens. I believe they kind of make fun of other animes as well in this anime, so it's ironic it's an anime making fun of anime. So it's just all around a crazy anime, lots of crazy adventures and things like that. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I know there is a lot of fans on my channel of that. I see most of you guys commenting JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Pops. We want this, we want these, we want these. And I'm really not sure why Funko hasn't made it. I will say probably a lot to do with it is licensing issues, guys. That's most likely what it is. Just them trying to obtain certain licenses, or certain companies don't want products of like Funko products made of their, their product. So I don't know. I don't really know what it is and why they haven't done certain lines, and they expand on other lines. But I feel like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure would be super, super popular, and I think it would sell very, very well. All right, guys, so another one that I would think would be really, really popular among anime pop collectors, or really just any other pop collectors that see it and would find these cool, would be 7 Deadly Sin Pops. So, guys, there's 7 pops right there that they could make. And then there's so many variants after that. Funko loves their variants. So if they give us this line, I don't mind buying variants of that, within reason, obviously. But 7 Deadly Sins would sell so great. Like, even Meliodas, even if they made just the sins out of the show, that would sell just immediately. Everyone would be pre-ordering it from everywhere. Those would sell out everywhere. Just like the Hunter x Hunter Pops sold out everywhere. Everyone was so excited about Hunter x Hunter. If they do 7 Deadly Sins, the same exact thing is going to happen. Pretty much with most of these on this list as well. Like JoJo's Pops would probably sell out as well, like I was talking about. But 7 Deadly Sins, that is like one of the most popular animes right now, especially last year and this year. And I feel like it would do very well. I personally would buy the entire set, and I would love to review it. Meliodas, let's see if I can name them all. Meliodas, Bond, Deanne, King, Gother, Merlin, and Escanor. Yeah, that's all. Look at that. Gosh, I remembered names for once. I've seen 7 Deadly Sins like 3 times. That's probably why. But I feel like those things would sell amazingly. And then they could make, like, there's just so many chase opportunities, okay? Meliodas is demon form. Escanor is powerful form. Merlin, and then I feel like they could make Merlin into something else, something like that. Hawk, the pig. There's so many opportunities for Hawk Pops. Elizabeth, she has her different outfits. Gother has his, like, Gother, and then Gother in his... Gother wasn't in that armor, my bad. I have that confused. But you have Gother, and then Gother has many other outfits he was wearing too. And then King in his, his fairy form, and then his big king form. So, like, vice versa. So, there's so many opportunities for 7 Deadly Sins Pops, so many variants they can make, and I feel like if Funko was going to milk a line, at least milk something new. Not Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, and Naruto, which seems to be their big 3. Moving on, guys, another really cool one is Code Geass. So Code Geass is a personal favorite of mine. I've probably seen it like 3 or 4 times. It is all around a big rebellion. Pretty much Lelouch, aka Zero, he pretty much leads this rebellion with these terrorists, aka terrorists, whatever you want to call them. Black Knights. But basically, it's such a fantastic anime because you can make Lelouch, and then you can make Zero, and then you can make him with his eyes as a chase, using the Geass. There's so many freaking opportunities for Pops. I could go on and on and on. And I feel like it's one of the most popular animes out there. Personally, I think, at least. Like, any list I've come across, Code Geass has always been on it. If you don't know what Code Geass is, I highly recommend you watch it. It is a fantastic anime, and I could not recommend an anime more than Code Geass. One of my favorite ones, and there's so many pop opportunities. Up here I have a statue. I don't know if you guys can... I don't think I have the camera that high, but I have a C2 statue, and, like, this is one they could make. Like, I'll show you guys so you have an example. I did a review on this if anybody's wondering. It is up on the channel, but this is one of the characters, and she would sell very, very well. Very, very well. Just saying. But I would love to see Code Geass. I would be so excited if they made Code Geass Pops, and those would be an insta-cop. And I don't even say cop, and they would be an insta-cop. Another really cool one is Assassination Classroom. So I won't go too much into this just because there's a lot of spoilers just trying to explain what this anime is. But for those who do know what it is, or those who have not seen it yet, I highly recommend you see it. And for those who have seen it, I'm sure you know exactly why I'm mentioning this one. This one's fantastic, and the pop opportunities are just endless. Okay, there's endless. There's so many cool pop opportunities, and they could make him the main character, who is aka the bad guy / good guy, into a 6-inch pop. And there's just so many variations they could make, and I feel like Assassination Classroom would sell really well as well. So this one I was really unsure about if it would do well, and I debated putting it in this list versus the honorable mentions. However, I feel like there are a lot of fans of this, which is FateZero, and this is, there's FateZero, then there's Fate Stay, and it's pretty much a combination of both FateZero, Fate Stay. And I feel like these would sell really, really well just because there's a lot of fans of it. And it's such a broad anime, and there's so many different, additions to this anime and subcategories to this anime and sub-stories and different characters that it would be an endless line. It would be as big as Dragon Ball Z, as big as My Hero Academia, maybe even bigger, because there's just so many variations they could do, and so many new characters, and so many arcs, and it's nuts. I couldn't even keep up. Like, I've probably seen most of them, but all the new ones I haven't even seen. I can't keep up. There's way too many Fate Stays. It's crazy. But however, it is definitely one of my favorite animes out there. I like the first original runs, not so much the new ones, but the first ones were fantastic, and there's just so many they could do. And for anybody wondering, it's pretty much like a Holy Grail type war. I'm trying not to say too much spoilers on some that are newer versus older anime. I don't mind spoiling because they've been out forever. So if you haven't seen them, I'm sorry. But Fate Stay and FateZero are pretty much all revolved around a Holy Grail that you have to get, and then it grants you whatever you want, essentially. So that's pretty much with that, but I feel like they would sell really well as well. All right, so this one, some people might be a little upset that I put this on this list just because some people don't like it and a lot of people do like it. It's split down 50-50 because it's not canon to the story and blah, 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 blah. But anyways, Dragon Ball GT Pops. It's Dragon Ball GT, guys. I would say anybody who doesn't even like Dragon Ball GT would still get these Pops just because it's Dragon Ball. And anything Dragon Ball sells all the time. Guys, there's so many possibilities. You got all the dragons. First of all, you have Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You have Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. You have Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4. You have Pan. You have Adult 18, Adult Krillin. Android 17, Super Android 17. There's so many. There's so many freaking characters. Dragon Ball GT is amazing in my opinion. I really loved it. It's something I can always go back and watch. I haven't watched it in a while, but it's definitely something I could always go back and watch. Super Saiyan 4 is one of my favorite transformations. Super Saiyan 3 will always be my favorite transformation though, I will say. And then God Mode is awesome too, but Super Saiyan 3 has always just been such a legendary transformation, and it's called the Legendary Super Saiyan 3. So, you know, but it's always been a freaking amazing, so it'll always be my favorite. But I feel like Dragon Ball GT Pops would sell really, really well. I did a video on some concept art. I forget the company or the Instagram name that did it, but if you guys just search Dragon Ball GT, I'm sure the video will pop up. And some really, really great concepts with some like Great Apes and Golden Great Apes, Baby Vegeta, things like that. And I think if Funko made the Pops like they designed them, it would be freaking amazing. So, like I said, I think Dragon Ball GT would sell really, really well. I would definitely pick them up. Another really cool one is the Devils of Parttime. So this one, I definitely won't put out any spoilers. It's not a fairly new anime, but it's not really like a really, really old anime. And it's also not getting a second season. So that's why I kind of deter people from watching it if I ever mention this, just because it's a really, really good anime, but it leaves you on such a cliffhanger. It sucks so bad. I think the creators just kind of wiped their hands with that. They felt like it only had one season. It only needed one season. But I feel like the Pops would do really, really well. You know, there's only really like 5 or 6 main characters or 5 or 6 characters that they could make Pops of, but I still think they would sell really well. There's not too many like kind of side characters that you can make Pops into that people would really want. But the main people would definitely want. Like I said, I'm not really divulging much into this one because it's one of my favorite animes as well. And I really want people to check it out if you have not. Devils of Part-Timer, really, really fantastic. And I think the Pops would sell very well. So another one is Food Wars. So Food Wars is not an anime I particularly liked. I was just not a really big fan when I watched it. I think I got as far as the one silver or white-haired dude, and he was like gardening naked. I don't know what that was all about, but that kind of like completely turned me off to the anime. I was just like, no, this is a little weird. Like I've seen some weird things in anime, but this was really weird. And I really wasn't feeling it. I guess I'm just not much for like a cooking type, like battle type anime. That's probably why I don't really watch Haiku, because it's like volleyball and things like that. But anything like other than actual action and like big story plots and things like that, I'm not really a big fan of, so I couldn't really get into this. However, it's probably one of the most popular animes out there within the last 2-3 years, and I feel like the Pops would probably sell. That one I'm kind of on the fence about as well as to putting on honorable mentions, but I feel like the Pops would sell well, but I also feel like they don't. So I'm a little bit on the fence with this one, just because I personally don't like it as well, and I don't really see, like, I see it as people like it, but I don't know if they would buy the Pops. So I kind of threw it on the list, but it's also in the honorable mentions category, if you guys understand that. Another one on the list, guys, is No Game, No Life. So for those who don't know what No Game, No Life is, it's basically a game type anime that revolves all around, just playing games. You play games to get stuff, you play games. It's basically gambling, essentially. It's a whole anime about gambling. It's kind of funny. And it's fantastic, actually. It's really fantastic. It's a little creepy sometimes, and like with certain character interactions and things like that. But I feel like the 2 main characters would definitely sell very, very well. But the only reason I say that it probably also wouldn't sell well, or Funko wouldn't do it, is because they only really have 2 characters they could make, and which is Sora and Shiro. I believe that's how you say their names. I believe so. There's so many animes with the same name sometimes. I believe it's Sora and Shiro. But those would be the only 2 characters that would really sell. So I threw it on this list, but I also think Funko wouldn't make it just because they could only make 2 characters. But they've made lines with only 2 characters, only 1 characters before, so you never know. Another really good one, guys, is Noragami. So if you haven't seen Noragami, I highly recommend it as well. I feel like, have I seen season 2? I don't remember if I've seen season. It's been a while. But Noragami is based off all around gods and things like that, and they could basically make Pops out of all those gods, and it's really based around this god Yato, and he basically he does anything to try to be relevant, essentially. So I won't spoil it because it's a really, really good anime as well, and it doesn't deserve to be spoiled. But yeah, he's fantastic. He's a fantastic character, really, really bad A character, and I highly recommend you watch it. And I feel like this one, I'm kind of on the fence about as well. If 50-50 of it selling well and 50-50 of it not selling well. But I feel like it has enough popularity that people would like to buy the Pops because it's something new. That's mainly why with a few of these animes, because it's something new, it's a new anime, it's exciting, and people like it, and they would buy it. But there's limited characters they can make. There's limited characters, which would be Yato, the god himself, the girl, and then his sword. That I feel like that would be the three that people buy. That's about it, in my personal opinion, at least. And last but not least on our list, before we mention the honorable mentions, guys, is Blue Exorcist. So Blue Exorcist, I recently watched. It was actually really, really fantastic. I could not get in with the Kyoto Saga. I think it's Kyoto Saga. I couldn't really finish that because it kind of takes place in the middle of the other whole story. It's just really, really weird. I just couldn't get with it. It didn't make any sense to me. So it's kind of like season 3 of Tokyo Ghoul. It didn't make sense at all. You gotta like read the manga maybe to make more sense of it. But essentially, I think Blue Exorcist would do really, really well in terms of, I think people would buy Ren, and then they would, oh god, his name. I can't ever remember his brother's name. It's something complicated, but Ren and his brother, and then they would probably buy Satan as the Pop. I don't know how they would do that though, because he's never really been in a form. And then they could make Ren in his demon form, and then his brother in his demon form, and then maybe some of the side characters, but it would be iffy if people would buy them. So really mainly the 2 characters and then a couple variants on top of that. And I feel like that would probably sell really well because Blue Exorcist is definitely up there with some of the better anime out there. And it's definitely just high up on the list, essentially. All right, guys, so before I mention the honorable mentions, there are 3 on this list. However, I just wanted to say that I can't possibly put every anime on this list or on this, like in this video. Video would be just way too long because there's so many other animes that I think would do well, but I try to pick and choose the best ones possible. So the honorable mentions would be Your Lie in April. This one is an honorable mention because I really honestly don't think it would sell well, but because of its popularity and because of like the story behind it, it might have like a nostalgic vibe and people might buy it because of that reason. But that's about it. I don't really think people would buy the Pops purely just because they like it. Maybe nostalgic, maybe because, you know, it's cute, but that's about it. I don't know. That's why it's honorable mentions. Another one is Dr. Stone. So Dr. Stone is kind of like an up-and-coming anime. Really, really cool one that I've heard about. My brother has watched it a little bit, and just based off what he's been telling me, really awesome. Everybody in the world's turned to stone, and then this guy, he's like a teenager, comes back to, he like counts, and it's a whole thing. I highly recommend you watch it just based off what my brother told me. I haven't seen it yet. Eventually I will. There's just so many anime I'm watching right now that I can't add anything else to the list. But definitely an honorable mention because I feel like people would like the Pops, but I don't feel like it's popular enough right now to get high sales. And then the last one for honorable mentions, guys, is Guilty Crown. Guilty Crown is a personal favorite of mine, just like Code Geass. I would recommend this anime to anybody. It's amazing, has an amazing story, amazing plot, amazing character development, amazing music. I love the music probably the most out of the anime. Inori singing one of the main characters, the girl characters. She's fantastic, and I love her singing, and I love the voice acting for her. I love the music she sings, and it's all around a fantastic anime, and I feel like it would sell. I personally think it would sell well, but I also don't think it would sell well just because I feel like it's like definitely up there in like the top 20 anime at least, but I feel like a lot of people still don't know about it. So if you have not seen Guilty Crown, I highly recommend you check it out. Alright guys, so that is a few animes that I figured Funko has not made yet, and I feel like they are missing out on a lot of money potentially on some of these lines. Like I said, this wasn't really a ranked list. If you guys want to see some top 10 lists, I can probably put that together. But yeah, it's hard not to be biased because there's a lot of animes I really, really like for some of these top 10s. So that's why I don't do a lot of top 10s. It's really, really hard to be biased and not put something higher than the other one just because I haven't seen certain things and things like that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like down below. And of course, comment down below an anime you would love to see Funko make into Funko Pops. I want to say a big shout out to my Patreon subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much for supporting me each and every month. You guys are absolutely legendary, and I appreciate the support so much. Thank you so much, seriously. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Bye.